All right. Hello, class. Today we are going to be talking about Chapter 5 in Everything is Obvious, and I just want to highlight a couple sections of this book because I think they're very important. They're going to show up on your quiz, but make sure you're reading these chapters as well because the whole thing is important. But I'd like to talk about sampling bias. This is another one of these ways that human beings pretty systematically, consistently make mistakes in thinking about sociology, social problems, trying to solve social problems with intuition or what they think is obvious, right? So sampling bias occurs when some members of a population are systematically more likely to be selected in a sample than others. And the most famous recent example of this is Donald Trump becoming president in 2016. Just about every news outlet had said that he was going to lose the election very badly to President Clinton. That turned out not to be true. And it turned out that Donald Trump supporters were just, on average, far less likely to respond to particularly phone sampling because different kind of pollsters were calling them by phone. And this also happened again during the pandemic. They were asking people about pandemic-related issues, but they were calling people's home phones. And it turned out that people who were very afraid of the pandemic to go out, were very nervous about catching COVID, were just much more likely to simply be at home, whereas people who were not so afraid of the pandemic were less concerned about masking and social distancing, were not at home as often and didn't answer their phone. So this turns into this theory that ended up being called the shy Trump voter theory, where Trump voters were somehow less willing to express that they were supportive of Trump, especially to strangers on the phone. But that turns out just not to be true. Trump voters aren't shy about their feelings and their support for Donald Trump. A brief search on the internet will show you that they're often very vocal. But what it was sampling bias. So there's another image on the bottom right of the screen talking about sampling bias. This is a survey done. It's a joke, obviously, because it's a cartoon. But yes, I love responding to surveys. And then the other answer is no, I toss them in the bin. We received 500 responses and found that people love responding to surveys. Well, the only people who would have responded to the survey love responding to surveys. So that is an example of sampling bias. And it's important to remove. We have to be careful when trying to understand statistics and particularly statistical sampling because, some people like to say that you can find statistics to support just about any argument, and that's true, but you have to be very careful and read between the lines. Every statistic is measuring something, but sometimes it is misrepresented what it is sampling. So the other example that I want to talk about is hindsight bias, or sometimes called creeping determinism. Now I have this, I haven't gotten this to work yet in PowerPoint, but I'll show you the video briefly. Hindsight bias is also known as the knew-it-all-along phenomenon, or creeping determinism. It is the common tendency for people to perceive past events as having been more predictable than they actually were. So if you want to talk about the Donald Trump election again, just because we were just talking about that, nobody thought that very few people thought that Donald Trump had a chance to win the election in 2016, but he did, and as soon as he did, everybody started saying, well, I knew it all along. I had been the one that was saying that he was going to win, and he had a good chance, but people didn't believe me, and that's just often not the case that people were being that vocal about it. Oh yeah, I do this all the time. I've got this example of BattleBots. BattleBots is I don't know if you know what that is. It's on Discovery Channel. Me and my wife, my spouse Jen, watch it pretty often, pretty frequently. And we actually have a bracket to see who's going to win. And I'll say my favorite BattleBot is going to win this tournament, and I just know that Tombstone, which is my favorite, is going to go all the way and win the Giant Nut Cup this tournament. And then he'll lose. He'll lose to some random robot, and I'll be like, I didn't think he was actually going to win. I definitely thought that other robot was going to win. We all do this sometimes. So I'm going to exit out of. No, it doesn't look like I can do this while I'm recording, so please watch the Captain Hindsight video right below this video.